Counselor? There's a raccoon stuck in the vending machine.
That's so annoying. I wanted a snack.
Welcome to Trail Mix.
Our mini episodes from Camp Counselors podcast.
Each week, the stories come from you, our Camp Shady Birch campers.
We want to hear your juicy gossip,
Top secret confessions,
embarrassing and scary stories.
and sprinkle in our sage counselor advice.
Trail Mix is for the campers.
And God, do we love ya. Hey, happy campers! Welcome back to Trail Mix.
This is our mini episode where we read listener-submitted stories submitted by viewers like you. Thank you. Can that be our new thing?
That can totally be our new thing, but I do think someone else is using that, and their name is PBS, Public Broadcasting System. Syndication. No, syndication. No.
Station, probably.
Station. Why did we go right to syndication?
There.
Oh, I love that. Anyways, welcome back to Trail Mix, everybody. I'm going to be so vulnerable and honest this episode.
You start every episode like that. Let's get into it because this is the vulnerable podcast.
It is. Should we rebrand it?
Like,
Oh my God, is that her podcast name?
yeah, we cannot speak up.
By No, I don't want drama with. No, I just ate leftover Papa John's, and I need to make a formal apology to all of my previous Papa John slander on this podcast and beyond from everywhere else. I always was anti Papa J my entire life, but I think I finally figured out what I needed. And it was that silly little garlic butter in the cup.
You are obsessed, and you're not a dipper. You're not always into dipping your pizza into any sort of vessel.
So it comes with this little cup, and when you peel it back, it is an unnatural yellow, and it's gelatinous. It's something that's not natural, and it's just straight like soft ass butter. And
I think it's like hydrogenated oil.
And that's when you need to rebrand that and change that, because now you're making me stressed out.
What's hydrogenated, I wonder?
Whatever is in that little cup. So I love to dip my little crust in it. And sometimes I dip too much of it in it, and then it just tastes like too honey, like too butter.
Too honey.
Like it's just too butter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now I feel dirty and gross. But I'm really obsessed with Papa J's. I used to be a real big Domino's lover, but the Domino's in New York, it's not hitting campers. It's really not. It's always so raw. We talked about this.
We talked about it before, and ever since it was my take a hike in whatever episode that was, we just can't do it. I'm sick of getting raw pizza delivered by Domino's. And it's like, yeah, okay. We also got criticized because we are in New York, and there are a lot of like,
I'm not doing this.
The New York pizza, which we'll have like, yeah, of course
all
we'll
the
go
time we'll have that. We eat out all the time, guys.
Yeah, you guys don't want to hear about the fucking like mom pop shop that's down the street. Like, yeah, we support small business, but
you don't
it's
get
not
it.
accessible. So
Yeah.
like, what are we going to talk about? How much can we tell you about a pizza that you're probably never going to have?
What is accessible is that buttercup that you get right now.
Yeah. Oh my God, buttercup.
I will say,
yeah,
Domino's has such a value across the boards though. Like if you're trying to pinch a penny, which we all are at all times, I think that like two topping, two medium pizza for $5.99 each, like you can't beat that.
And I'm sorry, that coupon is the same coupon code that it's been since I was in high school, because me and my friend Gabrielle, we always would get that. She would get her own pizza, I would get my own pizza. We would both have like one slice and then call it a wrap. But the price, you cannot beat.
Well, Domino's, thank you. I'm saluting you, Domino's, even though that you've done me dirty in this current city. I will say thank you for standing true to your price point and not increasing with inflation. And if you have, it hasn't been that noticeable in my opinion. And I still think you're delivering a great value on the dollar.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I initially last night wanted to get a local place. There's this place in, I think it's in Vinegar Hill, maybe it's in Dumbo. If you're familiar in New York, it's called Il Porto. I could be pronouncing that incorrectly, but they have what I've discovered to be actually, I think, my favorite category of pizza in general, which is a Sicilian slice, that square slice.
Which I never would reach for. I would never, if I'm at a buffet and everything is offered, I'm never reaching for that fucking square pizza.
It's almost on focaccia.
Yes.
Am I right in saying that?
Focaccia.
It's so expensive. Like one pizza at base without any toppings is $20. I'm like, that's a lot, but it's so incredible. But last night when I went on DoorDash, they didn't have any of the Sicilian slices. And I think they ran out early.
Or, oh my God, maybe the brick oven pizza, like they ran out of bricks.
No.
Or I mean, the logs.
That's incorrect, because the other pizza was available and it was all the wood fire pizza. And I don't like that. If I pick up the pizza slice and it instantly like falls and slags, I do not want to touch her.
You know what it was? It was a Friday night and everything was popping, and they need to make the room in there because the Sicilian is huge. You reckon?
What?
They're like huge. Like they're probably taking up too much real estate if all these people are ordering.
Maybe. We've ordered them on a Friday night before. I think they just had an issue in the kitchen. I'm not sure.
We should have called to get to the bottom of it because now we'll never know. It's a mystery of the universe, just like Rio.
They're in the middle of their Friday rush, and Jonathan's like, and I just want to get down to the bottom of this, guys. For everybody, like we're all just really concerned for Il Porto. Anyways, this is enough pizza talk. I just have this lingering garlic butter herb on my gum line right now.
I can smell it.
I honestly don't want to swallow. I think I'm gonna do this entire podcast and not swallow once, just so I can maintain that flavor.
That is so foul. It's just like you're salivating. It's dripping into your mic, which is porous and absorbent.
See what happens when you're vulnerable, campers? Someone will always attack you. Always keep your guard out. If we teach you anything, never let your guard down, campers.
And with that being said, let's get into today's stories. I've got a mother-in-law talking shit on her dearly departed ex-husband.
Okay, wow. I have a camper spreading her local spicy gossip.
Competitive vocalists at the local fudgery.
Ooh, See, we're not talking about enough about the local fudgeries either. I'm excited for that one. And then I have a Harry Potter obsessed camper who got drunk and tried to hunt down Hermione. I tried to write something clever about that story. This story is it's so funny. I just couldn't come up with a clever quippy thing to say. So, but we have great stories. Let's get into it.
Are we qualified to be giving advice? No. Are we going to do it anyway? Absolutely. Welcome back to Dear Counselors. This is the part of the show where you ask us advice and we give it to you, honey. If you need advice for anything, go to campcounselorspodcast.com.
Wait, that was such an exciting thing I didn't expect you to say.
Thank you.
We'll give it to you, honey. Wait, campers, everybody gag for a minute because that was really creative and it just was delivered at maximum effort. I'm really impressed by you today.
You know what's not delivered at maximum effort?
My bowel movements this morning.
The raw pizza from Domino's. Oh. Okay, but this is actually like... we're starting off on a little bit of a serious note. So this camper does need our help, okay?
Wait, everybody calm down.
Campers, shut the fuck up.
Seriously, the two in the back?
Stop.
Get out. No, because you're talking and you're texting. I see the lights on. No, please leave. Seriously.
Chelsea and Marilyn?
Oh, that is Marilyn. You cut your hair. That's cute. Actually, sit down.
Yeah, wait, we went with a fringe bang. That's... Go off, girl. We support.
Okay, get serious out.
Guys, dear counselors, I am in desperate need of some sage counselor advice. It's honestly one of, if not the hardest things I've ever gone through, and I need advice from the kings of camp. Okay, camper, we are here for you. We're going to figure this out together. My boyfriend, we'll call him Bear, is so kind, selfless, and family-centered. Most of his life, he's done his best to balance both sides of his family. His parents had a very ugly divorce, and they ended up absolutely hating each other. Despite the messiness, I dearly love my future in-laws, and I've tried my darndest to remain impartial while developing relationships with both sides of the family. Unfortunately, Bear's father passed away from cancer a few months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Adjusting to life without him has been tough, and we're navigating it one day at a time together. We lean on each other often and talk openly about our feelings through this process, but there's something that is weighing on me that I've kept from him. Not long after his father's passing, I went on vacation with Bear's mom and her side of the family for spring break. We get along so well and have traveled many places together, so I was totally comfortable going to Florida with her and her family without Bear. And then in parenthetical, she wrote, he stayed home because he used all of his PTO being a full-time caregiver to his dad.
Oh, that sucks.
During the vacation, my mother-in-law and other family members asked how Bear was doing and began to talk about the father's passing. The conversation started off sympathetic for Bear and his sisters, but then his mom continued to talk shit about Bear's father. One of the family members even said it was karma that he passed. They often do this type of shit talking to me when Bear is not around, which is how I know a lot of extra details about the divorce that Bear has never told me, and I don't even know if he knows. I have always felt so uncomfortable to be put in these situations. I try to be the likable daughter-in-law by listening, but speaking so negatively about the late father of your own son crosses the line. Maybe this is dramatic, but I feel like I myself am also grieving the loss of a family member. I know how awful things happened between the two of them, but it was mostly mutual. I'm choosing to remember Bear's father for his best qualities and let go of things we cannot change that happened over 15 years ago. He was always nothing but kind, open, and caring to me, so why should I have any negative thoughts about him? So my question is this: how do I handle this situation? Should I tell my boyfriend? Should I talk to his mom or shut it down next time it's brought up? Bear's father was his role model and always will be. Many of his best qualities are from his dad, and I'm so grateful that I got to meet the man who raised my partner to be such a loving and selfless soul. Thank you for reading this. Rest in peace to Father Bear. Love, too likable in cabin 2. Okay, this is rough.
I know. And first of all, I just want to say, like, your heart, Camber, is like, you're such a good person. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, you are doing everything you should do as a girlfriend. You are so supportive, and you're in a terrible predicament that you shouldn't be in. But your outlook on this and like where your head's at is, I can just tell that you have such a good heart. It's so messy. Right?
It is. And sickening. I also want to say, you say, maybe this is dramatic, but you feel like you're grieving the loss of a family member too. That's not dramatic. You've been dating your boyfriend for a long time. You're going on vacations with the size of the family. That's not dramatic at all. You are like grieving a loss of a relationship. But my first piece, I don't think you should tell your boyfriend about this, especially not right now.
Absolutely not. This is a very precarious time, like you just said. Do not tell him that. I don't even think you have to say anything to your mother-in-law particularly. I think the next time that it happens in front of you, maybe you excuse yourself, and maybe that kind of like motion will trigger something in her head to be like, oh, this is being inappropriate. I get why you haven't said anything in the past and why you're quietly listening, because that's also your mother-in-law and she's still here, and that's kind of like his surviving family now, right? You don't want to burn that bridge with her. You don't want him to have an issue with her because he doesn't have his dad anymore. It's not worth telling him the details of the divorce or things that you keep that to yourself, especially at this moment, right? I wouldn't make anything rash right now, but maybe there's a way if you can tell your mother-in-law if it does come up again, being like, hey, this just makes me a little uncomfortable because I really respected him as a man, and he is your son's like father. So, but maybe just excuse yourself next time. You don't have to sit through it. You can even make an excuse, be like, I have to go to the bathroom. She'll pick up on it. You know what I mean? But
yeah. And then if she doesn't, at one point you just have to say that you do not feel comfortable talking shit about the man that passed. That is, given your boyfriend and future partner the good qualities that he has, maybe just a reminder of that if it seems to be continuing on for too long, which I hope it doesn't, because if he just passed a couple of like weeks ago or like a month ago, I feel like her chatter like needs to die down.
Yeah, and maybe she's just kind of grieving in her own way, and like obviously
it's a fucking weird choice.
It is a weird choice. It's inappropriate, but like we don't know the full scope of everything, right?
True.
But at the end of the day, like her doing that in front of you is wildly inappropriate, and I'm so sorry that you're going through that. But just support your man bear,
Yeah.
Live on the memory of Father Bear, and Mother Bear can fuck off for a minute and just really evaluate why she's putting you in that predicament. But you got this. We love you. Such a good soul, Camper.
Get out of the water and onto the dock. You're not gonna believe what I just heard.
Welcome back to Gossip Doc. Ooh, I'm blowing my whistle. I have something naughty to say. Actually, the camper that wrote in, this is like true gossip, because it's not a confession canoe, because it's not about her.
Okay.
Like,
oh my God. Good gossip. Good.
Yeah, because it's usually confession canoe. Gossip Doc, if you're confused, camper, is truly when you're talking about somebody else, like, or somebody else's story.
Right. Yeah. With permission, or just, we'll keep it super vague.
I know. Well, there's a detail in the story that I'm going to say blank in front of the descriptor word instead of saying the descriptor word of the room. You'll get it. Cause I'm like, you're right. Like
somebody could it could come back. And you know what? Sometimes I never thought that this show would get big enough to the point where some people would start hearing things, but it has happened. It has happened.
I said something in passing and in jest. Is that what it is? In jest?
No, that's what you're doing with the pizza inside your body.
Oh, stop. No, that's
no, that's digest.
Yeah, but ingest is also okay.
Anyways,
and long story short, it got back to that person, and I had to send a text. It was a joke, but I know I need to be better.
Yeah, more people listen to this than we think.
Oh, wait,
to us, it's like just this little cabin. We're all sitting in a circle on our little squares that are cut out of carpets that were left over. We found in the dumpster. Everyone has their own little carpet square. Did you have that at story time in school?
No. After I'll tell you something about my childhood that reminds me. I was literally in bed thinking about something about my childhood that's I won't talk about in the show, but that reminded me of it. Remind me later.
Okay.
Anyways. Hi, counselors. I have a tad bit of gossip for you both.
I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. A few weeks ago, my friend, we'll call her Anna, was telling me about how her two coworkers were caught having sex at work, but they're both married to different people. Anna was, of course, showing me the girl's Facebook. We'll call her Nicole. When Anna was showing me Nicole's Facebook, she was showing me how cute her kids were. Okay. Gets this from her friend. She's like, this girl I work with, she's messing around with another guy. They're both married. These are her kids. Whatever. They're scrolling. What else are you going to do? It's like, Jonathan, how many stories have I told you about my ex-coworkers who are going through like really crazy divorces and like being publicly out of pocket? And I'm like giving you every single photo in depth.
God, the amount of crazy juice and story arcs there are on your Facebook timeline is so nuts, but we can't talk about it.
Because I worked at Olive Garden for 5 years. That alone has produced the most insane collection of people I've ever worked with in my life.
Even like the friends that you have at home that I start to follow, like sometimes the comment sections on like friends of start to get a little crazy. And I'm like, what am I witnessing here? This is so kooky.
I know. I think a lot of people are townies from my Facebook and they're out of pocket.
Oh my God. Okay.
So fast forward to the other day. I teach at an after-school swim lesson, and I had a few new clients come in. To my surprise, Nicole walks in with her kids, the woman that was cheating at work. Mm-hmm. I have to put on my excited, helping lifeguard face and say how excited I am to teach her kids to swim, which I really was, because her kids are fucking adorable, she says. But little does Nicole know, I know that she was fucking her coworker in the blank room at work. She's like, maybe say the break room in case this is super obvious, and Nicole ends up being a camper. But in fact, it was the blank room at work, which is so funny. So I can't tell you what room it was because that's what she asked me not to do. But like, if you knew what the kind of room it was, it does make it funny that they were fucking in there. So use your creativity. Drop it in the comments with your guesses.
Wait, I don't even have any guesses. I don't got it.
Like, you know, there's different styles of rooms.
Yes.
Like,
I understand that you're saying.
Not the copy room.
I feel like once I hear you say it, I'm going to be like, okay, that's specific and I can't. Like,
oh my God. Imagine having sex in the copy room and you're sitting on the copier and you hit print and you're a bat.
Oh, that's absolutely been in like a music video.
I think I've
seen that womanizer.
I should also know that Nicole and her husband are definitely still together. And I have to look at this man in the eyes at pickup and tell him how great his kids are doing at the doggy paddle. Meanwhile, I know his wife
is getting doggy styled.
Wait, no, she says, and to stop, because she goes, meanwhile, I know his wife is doing the backstroke on her lunch break. Yikes.
Wait, y'all are clever.
So,
you guys are so funny.
Meanwhile, I was like, girl, you ate that line up.
Oh my God, the breaststroke?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
That's funny.
So she was swimming in the T in cabin 63. And then she said, congratulations about us getting signed to podcast 1. And then she says, she can't wait to get tickets to my show. Thank you so much. Because like, that's why we created Gossip Jock. It's like, that's not hurting you by telling us. And that's not really hurting anybody else.
And you had to get it off your chest and you did. And we're so grateful for that.
You did. And she had to swim it out. She swam across the lake to tell us that. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to hire you as a camp lifeguard because we're down bad right now.
And you're saving lives.
And you know, I can't swim. So this episode of Camp Counselors is sponsored by Factor. If I don't eat before we record this show, I would literally scream. And I'm not breaking out the pots and pans and sauteing up something complicated. I need my meals quick, easy, and delicious. Good thing I got our Factor delivery yesterday right to our door. Campers, we love Factor. We've been Factor fans way before we had the sponsorship. And now you can eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. How efficient. Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and Veggie. Also discover more than 60 add-ons every week like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feeling good all day long. Working at Camp Shady Birch is a full-time job. Today, I have to drain and fill the blob, take down a wasp nest, and help Sandwich with his taxes. I need help. Thankfully, Factor is right there and ready for me to eat with no prepping, cooking, or cleanup. What are you waiting for, campers? Get started today and fuel up for your springtime goals. Head to factormeals.com/camp50 and use camp50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box. That's code camp50 at factormeals.com/camp50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is active. Come through, Factor.
Hey everybody, I'm Julie.
And I'm Brandy.
And we're from the Dumb Gay Podcast.
Now you may know us from the People's Couch on Bravo or as hosts of the Vanderpump Rules After Show, which was also on Bravo. But both of those shows are canceled now.
Now we have the Dumb Gay Podcast, where we talk about politics and current events like we're talking about reality TV. If you'd rather watch Real Housewives than the news, then you need to be tuning into our podcast.
Yeah, and by the way, we didn't just start this podcast. We've done been had it. So for everyone who's rolling their eyes going, oh, not them too. No, we've been here. So whether you pay attention to politics or not, it doesn't matter because you're definitely not hearing it like this. We're vulgar, we're crass, we're angry, we're inappropriate, and we're drunk half the time.
Half? Seriously, though, if you want to be part of the conversation, but you feel like you don't know how to jump in, consider checking out our Dumb Gay podcast. It's available everywhere you get your podcasts.
Move over, Andy Cohen and Kyle Richards. It's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris time.
Paloop.
This is a really big secret. Thank God we're on a body of water. This is Confession Canoe.
Hello to you. It is Confession Canoe. I was trying something new.
You've been trying a lot of new things. I'm not upset at anything you've tried today.
I know. What's happening?
You're getting creepy.
I think I'm tired. I think that's what it is. Okay, we're at Confession Canoe. If you want to confess something, write in. Hi, camp counselors. I am such a fan of both the podcast and all your videos. You both crack me up, and your show makes me smile while I drive to my night shift job. Love that.
Thank you.
I live in California now, but I'm from Massachusetts and went to college on the South Coast. So when Zachariah talks about his childhood growing up in Mass, it helps with that homesick feeling I sometimes get.
Oh, I love you, my little South Coast queen. Me too.
Scallops. Shout out scallopers. Anyway, here's my story about my very first big girl job working at a large and popular outdoor outlet mall in Massachusetts.
Okay.
If you know, you know.
Girl, just say Wareham Crossing.
Is that what it is, Wareham Crossing?
Just say Wareham Crossing. I'm betting my... Wait, no. It's the other one. It's the one... Fuck, what is it called?
Is it a Simon Outlet Mall?
No, it's not. It's an outdoor mall, and it's up on 495
in Saratoga?
No. Okay, I know it's on 495. I cannot think of the name right now. What the fuck? Rentham Outlets. Got
yes.
it. Got there.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
Girl, just say Rentham Outlets.
Okay. I was 16 and freshly driver's licensed. My friend and I took a day going around to stores to see who was hiring and submitting applications.
Cute.
Did you ever do that with your friends? You're like,
of course, me and Carly.
You get a free sample, and while you're at it, you hand them your application.
Or you're like, are you guys hiring? And they're like, first of all, clear your throat.
Like,
you guys hiring? It's like, why are you in Cookie Monster pajamas? Get out.
Not the Tinkerbell. Okay. During our journey to minimum wage employment, we walked past a store selling ice cream and fudge. An employee stood at the door singing a song about fudge to the tune of "The Lion Sleeps Tonight" from The Lion King with the most incredible singing voice. Being two nerdy teenage girls in the throes of the Glee obsession, we were captivated. We went inside.
I love this.
We ended up speaking to the manager who was working at the register and slinging fudge samples. She asked us a few questions. She said that she liked our energy and offered us both a job right then and there.
How creepy were you being at that entrance for her to be like, yeah, you're the perfect fudge singer. Like, your energy's freaky.
Yeah, did you walk in kind of like how I walked into this section and you were just like, hello, fudgery?
I kind of pictured like a West Side Story, like shoulder shimmy, like snapping. She's like, I like you, girly.
You just like have your back to the register and you're shopping at the shelf in front of you and you're just kind of singing loud enough for them to hear. But you're like, oh, you caught me.
Whatever you did, camper, it worked. So.
It worked. And congratulations on the new job when you were 16. Okay, so she offered us the job right then and there. Job duties included working the register, scooping ice cream and making milkshakes, selling fudge, and most importantly, getting customers to come inside the store and buy treats by singing songs about fudge for the whole outlet mall to hear, offering delicious fudgy samples. Yes, the singing was a requirement.
I've never heard of a job like this that required you to sing.
Me neither, but it's like if it's the kitsch and that's what it is, like it's part of the job, babes. You got to work the door.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. We were hooked immediately. I thought I would fit in no problem as I was a seasoned middle school chorus alum. However, we were working with people that had their career goals set on Broadway and they had the angelic voices to match. It was truly incredible. They could make a free sample cover parody to the tune of Tomorrow from Annie sound like the most amazing music you'd ever heard of.
Can we try it?
Okay.
You're gonna love our fudge. It's delicious and so creamy for you.
Made in store.
Come get a piece of fudge. You'll love it.
You won't regret it. I swear I'll lose my job if you don't come in.
Oh, we would have been so good at
Yeah, why don't we go to the fucking Simon Outlet Mall?
I know I think I know what Fudge Biz is.
What is it? Salty Spittoon?
No, I don't know. I'm not a fudge lover.
You're a fudge packer?
Okay.
So here we go. However, we were okay. Blah, blah, blah. At first, it was great because I was put behind the register on those really busy summer days while the real talent worked outside the door. So she's like, I can't even sing. I just wanted to like be in the vicinity and listen to it.
Yeah, she's technically a swing right now.
She's simply the swing. She's the understudy, but she'll hold her own. When push comes to shove, of course. While the real talent works the door with their fudgy siren songs. It was too much to compete. My friend and I ended up spending an entire day off writing our own fudge song together to the tune of I'll Make a Man Out of You from Milan. You'll be shocked to learn they never let us put it in rotation.
Mulan.
What'd I say?
Milan.
Oh, I have Melania on the brain. Sorry, Mulan.
I was thinking of this.
Milan.
The city.
Yeah, which is where she was born. But alas, no, that's the city that Melania was born, not Mulan.
Melania was born in a different country?
Yeah. Didn't you pick up on that?
No.
That's what she said she was named after. No, she's named after because she was conceived. Oh, she was conceived in Milan.
Okay, we're done talking about the Judices.
Guys, please focus. But alas, the end of August came, and all of those insanely talented people with the voices smooth as the chocolate they sold went back to college. This is how you get read on here. You just write dumb shit like this. They all went back to college to pursue their dreams. It was just me, my friend, and a few arbitrary employees left. It's like that weird employee. You kind of forget their name. You're friendly with them.
Just say Spencer.
You've closed their shop. Spencer, is that their name? Okay. So I was now the one working the door. I stood there to belt out fudge songs to the tune of Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder while people just kept walking by, and rightfully so. Isn't she fudgy?
That's probably what she said.
That's probably what she said. My sister and her friends would come by to visit to see me singing at the door, and they'd all just laugh at the absurdity of me being the lone vocalist singing to the desolate outlet mall.
It is a crazy picture to think about.
And then if your manager's in the store, you just have to stand there while your sister and her friends laugh at you.
The desolate outlet mall.
It's echoing too. It's very much giving Fergie's national anthem. I worked that job for a little longer, but when my roles were either embarrassing myself at the door or trying to sing my way into hitting the free sample quota, or being put in the prep room scrubbing the grout behind the long unmoved storage shelves, I decided I had paid my dues. However, me being 16 and that being my very first job and eternally anxious about confrontation, I decided I would have to make up a lie instead of quitting. This is so me. I told my manager that I had to leave because I needed to start full-time babysitting my little cousins to help out their family.
That's fine. That's a good excuse.
That is, and it's very specific. It's she's not going to ask for a follow-up on details.
She's like, how old are they? And you're like,
17. This was absolutely untrue, but you wouldn't catch me letting the store down by just saying I was quitting, as if this minimum wage job cared about me leaving. I left there just to find another job hosting kids' parties at a local bowling alley, which is another story for another day. I still feel bad about lying sometimes, especially because that store manager was one of the sweetest people ever. And I still get the fudge songs stuck in my head every once in a while and catch myself singing them around the house. My career is now as an RN, and it does not include me singing, which is probably for the best. Sincerely, the singing fudge fibber in cabin 7.
We're going to need you to show up during the talent show this year, Camper, and perform some of your fudgiest hits. And we're going to put you in a fudge costume as well. That's amazing. That's one of the craziest first steps I've ever heard of.
Not the fudge costume. It just looks like a giant turd.
Do you like fudge?
I like fudge, but sometimes it's too rich.
It's too rich. It's too dense. It's too fudgy.
Yeah.
I don't love it. And it's a lot of work to make it. It's not easy.
It's a lot of work. I've made fudge before. I like a tiny piece of a chocolate peanut butter moment, or just a milk chocolate, or a chocolate marshmallow, chocolate caramel.
Oh, so you like a lot of different options here.
Yeah, actually, I do like fudge, yeah.
I'll have to take you to where I believe this camper works.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I love when they give it to you in that little white box with that little flimsy white plastic butter knife. Classic.
Scary stories around the campfire.
Welcome back to Scary Stories Around the Campfire. Grab a blanket, grab a marshmallow. This is truly embarrassing. First, I have to say thank you, Camp Shady Birch. Camp Shady Birch has been getting me through a breakup. We were together for 14 years. Whenever I need a smile and a laugh, Camp Shady Birch is there for that. I am so grateful. We love you, Camper.
We love you. Heartbreak is temporary. You'll get through this. We love you.
This is going to be long, but I hope you hang in there, as it is a tale of my unfortunate drunk attempts at meeting Emma Watson. Here we go, Campers.
Emma Watson enters the chat again.
Just such an elusive celebrity that I will always be obsessed with. It doesn't matter what she does. I think she's so cool. I love Hermione Granger. To preface this story, I have to tell you that I was totally obsessed with Harry Potter as a kid. I was nearly 7 years old when the first book published, and it became my everything. I wasn't shy about my love for the Wizarding World either. I entered and won a contest by my state newspaper where my letter to Harry Potter was published.
Are you from Illinois, bitch? Does she say where she's from?
No, she doesn't. Don't call her a bitch.
Sorry, but that you already know I have a scar. I have issues related to Harry Potter.
You think you have a scar? Wait till you hear about her scar.
Okay, continue.
I
wrote a letter to the president. It was a big issue.
You've told the Campers this story, and I love it because your mom loves to put out an hors d'oeuvre on the table and retell this story.
Yeah,
it's one of her favorites.
It is.
I even went to the premiere of the first movie dressed as Hermione. I crimped my hair and wore a Gryffindor robe over my uniform. While there, my aunt actually forced me to take a picture with another kid who was dressed as Harry Potter. And yes, we were the only two nerds dressed up as characters for the premiere.
Oh my God, that's weird. I guess it's because it wasn't
Get together, kids.
That's so weird that nobody else was dressed up back then. It was quite the phenomenon.
Yeah, but maybe it was the first one. It definitely developed into so much more. You know what I mean? I feel like her robes probably were like homemade. They probably weren't even selling merch yet.
That's true. Where would she have gotten them? This Scholastic book for?
Girl, you go to Joanne Fabric and you start selling.
Period.
What I didn't love was that my entire family decided that I had a striking resemblance to a young Daniel Radcliffe. And so every time they saw a picture of him, they point to it and say, "Hey, there's Chloe," or "Hey, Chloe, there's your twin." Flash forward to 2009. I just turned 18. I'm a senior in high school, but most of my friends are in college. One friend goes to Brown University, and she invited a group of us, her hometown friends, to celebrate her birthday. She's an RA, and she tells us Emma Watson is dorming on a floor in her building. One of my friends actually sees Emma Watson walking down the hall while we're visiting, which likely prompts what happens next. Guys, so Brown University is like 30 minutes from where I grew up. Everybody knew, and I was in high school in 2009. I was a freshman. Everybody knew she was there. It was so crazy that one of the most popular movies and book franchises, that the star was 30 minutes from us in Providence, Rhode Island. It was crazy. So to even be on campus at this time, nuts.
I'm sure, because even people in Pennsylvania were like, "Oh my God, Emma Watson's going to college. She's going to uni in the United States."
The last movie wasn't even out yet.
Yeah.
Was it?
No, in 2009.
I think 2011 maybe.
Yeah, maybe
it
later.
It was still
than that.
heat moment though. Yeah. It was huge. After a party, we were all way too drunk, too many shooters, especially me. We go back to my friend's building, a drunk mess and a formal HP freak. I decided it would be so funny to find Emma Watson's dorm room. Girl, leave her alone. You're shit-faced.
This also isn't your college.
Somehow I rally a couple troops. Of course you did, girl. I could just tell you're that girl. Everybody, let's go.
Yeah, are you Hufflepuff?
Are you Hufflepuff? You Slytherin, bitch.
Come on, meet me in the common room. Well, I'm sorry. You probably don't talk like that. Maybe you do.
No, you do when you're hammered. I like that. And we start wreaking absolute havoc in this dorm. Shouting stupid Harry Potter spells. Okay, so she is like that.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Writing dumb shit on whiteboards. Knocking on doors.
No.
We were messy. At one point, I even thought I found her room. And it actually pains me to say that I pounded furiously on the door trying to get her to come out. Like, who in the right mind would ever do that? Now you're being bad.
Yeah. Does she have security? Emma Watson's literally in there curled up on her bed.
I don't think she had security, but she probably needed it.
She needed it.
Especially from you, Camper. You're crazy.
That is kind of nutty that she could do that, and maybe she did have Secret Service or something. I don't know. I feel for her own protection.
No, for sure. And it's I hope it was the wrong room. I also whoever's room it was, you terrorized them.
No, it was Emma.
You're a terror. You're a terror. You know that? Trying to calm my drunk ass down, my boyfriend, the one of 14 years, gently grabs me by the arm and tells me it's time to go to bed. I'm totally offended, obviously. Girl, you're so me. So I rip away from him and run. Except I don't get very far because I immediately run into a wall, specifically the hard edge of a wall. Oof. It's giving your cousin Mark. I am so drunk that I don't feel a thing. But when I turn around to my boyfriend and others, everybody gasps in complete horror.
Oh no.
What do I do? Naturally, I run away again. Girl,
Slow down. There's like a trail of blood behind her.
This time with blood pouring into my eyes, down my face.
Oh my God.
I trip up the stairs into the girls' room. We're like, we're Moaning Myrtle.
Oh my God. Is this the tale of Moaning Myrtle?
Where I lock myself into the bathroom until a campus EMT somehow lures me out and into an ambulance into the hospital.
It's like I have a limited edition copy of the
If I was
first
your
book.
friend who hosted you and I was all right, I would never speak to you again.
No, I wouldn't even.
You took it too far.
I wouldn't even tell them that I knew you because now her job's on the line.
But when we tell a story, everyone's like, you took it too far. You're like, no, I did it for Camp Shady Bridge because you didn't know that a podcast would need this story.
Exactly.
And we needed it. And this has been a great story so far. Mind you, this was no easy feat. Not only did I resist going into the ambulance, I also tried to convince them I was just fine while covered in blood.
I'm fine.
Anyway, at the hospital, I am forced to wait in the ER until sober enough to get stitches. My boyfriend sat with me the entire time. That's good they don't give you stitches drunk. That would be kind of like, because you don't know. You would be twitching a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Did you know
yeah, because they had to test me for alcohol before they gave me stitches.
Oh, so that's like a standard thing?
Yeah, and
Oh.
I kind of like lashed out at the one girl because she didn't believe me that I wasn't drunk. I wasn't. I was like, run the test.
How did you lash? Did your tongue come out and your eyes pierce?
Yeah, and my blood, I held my breath and I pushed like this, like how you try to pop your ears, but it shot blood out of my skull. And I like a whale blowhole.
You need to tell people that was not true because people are going to believe that because they're not getting your crazy eyes that you're lying.
It's not true, campers, but just picture a whale like blowhole.
No, they
but
pictured it. They don't need it again.
Okay.
Well, all of this was extremely embarrassing. The worst part wasn't the stitches or that my mother wants to kill me or that the university used my experience to explain the dangers of drinking.
Oh.
Brown University, an Ivy League schoolgirl. The worst part was the scar on my forehead that burns constantly, especially when it's about to rain. To this day, I still have the scar, but I'm sorry to say I don't have any magical powers except for a striking resemblance to Daniel Radcliffe. It even heightens the resemblance.
This is incredible.
Yours truly, the girl who lived in cabin 9 3/4.
What? You know
Incredible.
what? Yeah.
Hey, clap, 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 clap.
10 points to Gryffindor. That was so well written, so well rounded, and we all learned a lesson.
It was so funny at baseline, but then that tie back to like the scar and then it looking more like Harry Potter. That was art. That was
Cabin
art.
9 3/4. Come on,
so
bitch.
good. You're a
Creative.
true terror of Brown University. You need to be locked up and brought here because you need to be in the pastures of Camp Shady Bridge. You are
Oh, the correctional cabin.
no. What's it called when the feral animals need to be like rehabilitated?
Euthanized?
You need to be rehabilitated here because you're a danger to society, but you're not a danger to this camp. And we
No.
love that for you. What a great episode!
What a great episode. I'm feeling creepy and fun.
Me too.
I want to do a kickflip.
Okay, let's try it.
Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in and rating us 5 stars. We greatly appreciate it. And it does help us out if you want us to read your incredible story. One, if you don't have an incredible story, make some bad choices this weekend. It could turn into an incredible story.
Good
but
advice.
don't blame us if you end up in jail. And 2, you can write it into campcounselorspod@gmail.com or campcounselorspodcast.com. There's a little write-in tab and you can write it to us there.
And with that being said, lights out, campers.